Pain is not something to avoid, it is something to embrace. Every person who achieves extraordinary success understands this fundamental truth. If it doesn't hurt, you're not growing. Yet, most people spend their lives chasing comfort, avoiding discomfort, and believing that life should be easy. And that mindset is the exact reason why mediocrity is so common and greatness is so rare. Pain is proof of progress because it signifies that you are stepping outside the boundaries of your current abilities. When you push yourself past what feels natural, when your muscles ache, when your mind screams to stop, you are signaling to yourself and the world that you are capable of more than yesterday. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it is feedback. It tells you that you are on the right path, that you are challenging the status quo, and that your limits are expanding. The problem is that most people misinterpret pain. They see it as a signal to retreat, to reduce effort, or to settle for less. That's exactly what separates the winners from the losers. Winners don't shrink from pain, they seek it out. They understand that every hour spent in discomfort, every sacrifice made, every struggle endured is an investment in their future. Pain is a marker of effort applied. It's an indicator that you are testing your limits, experimenting with your capabilities, and forcing yourself to grow in ways that are impossible within the safety of comfort. Physical pain, mental strain, emotional fatigue, all of it serves as a signal that you are moving forward. If you never feel the burn, you are likely coasting, you are likely doing enough to survive, not enough to dominate. Grinding until it hurts is about accepting the growth is uncomfortable. The human body and mind are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, but those instincts, while useful for survival, are disastrous for those who want more. The grind requires overriding those instincts, forcing yourself to act even when it is difficult, even when every fiber of your being tells you to stop. Every time you push through pain, you build resilience. Every time you endure hardship without quitting, you expand the limits of what you can handle. That resilience is not abstracted. Directly translates into performance, productivity, and results. People who shy away from pain are weak not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they have not developed the mental and physical fortitude necessary to succeed at a high level. Pain is the gym of the mind as much as the body. The discomfort you feel is a teacher, a mentor, and a motivator all at once. It forces self-awareness, revealing your weaknesses, your doubts, and the areas where improvement is needed. Without it, you live in a fog of complacency, unaware of what you are capable of achieving. Those who succeed embrace pain strategically. They understand the difference between destructive pain and constructive pain. Constructive pain is the grind, the hard work, the failure, the sacrifice that moves you forward. Destructive pain is the result of laziness, poor choices, or avoidance. It weakens you. It does not strengthen you. Understanding this distinction is critical. When you feel discomfort from pushing yourself, recognize it as constructive pain. Lean into it. Analyze it. Use it to fuel your drive. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, and high achiever has mastered this skill. They have trained themselves to see pain not as a barrier, but as a signal. They have conditioned their minds to reframe discomfort as progress. This mindset shift is the difference between someone who dreams of success and someone who achieves it. Grinding until it hurts is about being proactive, not reactive. It is about seeking challenges that force growth, rather than waiting for circumstances to push you. It is about understanding that real development comes at the edge of discomfort, and nothing valuable is gained without effort that challenges your current capacity. Pain is also a filter. It separates those who are committed from those who are not. Anyone can show up when things are easy, but only those willing to endure hardship consistently will reach the top. The grind teaches patience, perseverance, and persistence. It hardens your resolve and tests your determination. It prepares you for the obstacles, setbacks, and failures that are inevitable on the path to greatness. Without the willingness to feel pain, endure it, and continue despite it, success remains an abstract idea rather than a tangible reality. Every time you push beyond what you thought was possible, every time you embrace the discomfort of learning, growing, and improving, you are proving to yourself that your limits are temporary and that you can achieve more than you ever imagined. Pain is the proof that you are moving, that you are advancing, and that you are committed to the process. To ignore it is to ignore your own potential and to settle for a life of mediocrity. Those who grind until it hurts understand this, and they harness pain as their most powerful ally, knowing that it is both the path and the proof of progress. Excuses are the silent killers of potential. They disguise themselves as reasons, as explanations, as rationalizations, and most people cling to them as if their survival depends on it. Yet every excuse is a trap, a self-imposed barrier designed to keep you small, mediocre, and average. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you must recognize excuses for what they truly are, the enemy of success. Excuses are seductive because they feel safe. They protect you from criticism, from failure, from the uncomfortable truth that maybe you haven't done enough or pushed hard enough. But here's the reality. Life does not care about your excuses. The universe does not pause for your reasons. Opportunities do not wait while you debate why things are hard or why someone else has an advantage over you. Excuses are nothing more than the voice of weakness disguised as logic. Every time you make one, you are choosing comfort over growth. You are choosing temporary relief over a long-term gain. You are saying, in effect, I am not willing to pay the price required to succeed. Winners do not operate that way. Winners understand that success is a product of accountability, not explanation. They take ownership of their circumstances, their failures, and their results. When something goes wrong, they ask one question: what can I do to fix this? Not why is this happening to me? And the difference between these two mindsets is the difference between mediocrity and greatness. Excuses are excuses because they shift blame. They allow you to feel justified without taking action. They keep you looking for external reasons rather than internal solutions. The truth is, if you want to grind until it hurts, you must eliminate every excuse from your life. That means no longer blaming the economy, your upbringing, your education, your boss, or your peers. It means taking 100% responsibility for your results and accepting the fact that nobody owes you anything. Excuses are contagious. Once you give in to one, it becomes easier to justify another and another, and soon a lifetime of inaction is built on the fragile foundation of rationalization. The problem is that excuses feel good in the moment. They relieve anxiety, reduce stress, and make failure easier to digest. But they are poison disguised as medicine. They rob you of your potential, erode your confidence, and leave you incapable of achieving the results you are truly capable of producing. Grinding until it hurts requires a mindset that rejects excuses entirely. It demands brutal honesty with yourself, a relentless focus on solutions, and an unyielding commitment to results. When you remove excuses from your life, you remove the safety nets that prevent growth, and you open the door to massive progress. Every successful person understands that. Excuses are the natural enemy of achievement. They have trained themselves to notice the excuses forming in their minds, to recognize the seductive language of limitation, and to replace it with the language of action, responsibility, and accountability. Excuses are also a form of procrastination. They allow you to delay hard work, to avoid challenges, and to postpone discomfort. Every time you justify why you can't do something today, you are stealing opportunities from tomorrow. Excuses rob you of momentum, and momentum is the fuel of success. To grind until it hurts, you must be prepared to face reality unflinchingly. You must see excuses for what they are, illusions that make you feel better but do nothing to move you forward. When you encounter obstacles, do not rationalize why they exist, solve them. When you fail, do not explain why it wasn't your fault, analyze and improve. Every excuse avoided is a small victory, and every victory compounds into the kind of unstoppable drive that separates the successful from the average. Eliminating excuses also transforms your relationships with others. When you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or luck, you demonstrate reliability, integrity, and focus. People notice those who take ownership, who act decisively, and who refuse to be defeated by reasons or justification. That reputation opens doors, creates trust, and generates opportunities that excuses would have destroyed. Excuses are a mental prison, and the key to freedom is accountability. When you embrace the grind and reject excuses, you liberate yourself to pursue your goals with clarity, precision, and relentless energy. The pain of work becomes meaningful because it is tied to results, not rationalization. Your energy is directed at creating solutions, not spinning justifications. Excuses are ultimately a reflection of fear, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of responsibility. But fear is not a reason to stop, it is a signal to act. Every time you grind past fear and refuse to make excuses, you strengthen your mind, your will, and your capacity to achieve. Excuses are temporary illusions that provide immediate comfort but long-term damage. Accountability is permanent, and its rewards are exponential. Grinding until it hurts requires you to embrace accountability fully and to see excuses for the weakness they truly are. By rejecting excuses, you claim control over your results, your life, and your destiny. In the end, excuses do not prevent pain, they prevent growth. They make your grind less effective, your efforts diluted, and your potential wasted. Those who succeed are the ones who take responsibility, face discomfort, and push relentlessly, never blaming, never justifying, and never allowing excuses to dictate their actions. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you feel unstoppable, ready to conquer the world, and the next day you struggle to get out of bed. That's why relying on motivation alone is a trap. It is unreliable, unpredictable, and incapable of sustaining long-term results. The truth is, success is not built on motivation. It is built on relentless consistency. Consistency is the engine that transforms small actions into massive results over time. Grinding until it hurts isn't about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about showing up, executing, and delivering whether you feel like it or not. The people who achieve greatness are not necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent. They are the ones who persist when the world is silent, when encouragement is absent, and when their energy is low. Motivation is external. It is sparked by circumstances, emotions, or temporary excitement. Consistency is internal. It is a choice you make every day to act, to push, to endure, and to improve regardless of whether you feel like it. This choice is what separates winners from the vast majority of people who talk about success but never actually achieve it. The grind is often painful. Your body will ache, your mind will resist, and the temptation to quit will be constant. But consistency is the bridge between ambition and achievement. Every effort applied, every task completed, every small win compounds over time into results that appear almost magical to those who rely solely on motivation. Motivation can get you started. Consistency ensures you finish. It's not enough to be inspired occasionally or to feel passionate in bursts. True success requires daily commitment to the work, even when it is unpleasant, inconvenient, or exhausting. Grinding until it hurts is not about chasing excitement. It is about building a habit of execution. It is about creating a system in your life where action is automatic and stopping is inconceivable. Consistency breeds confidence. Each day you push through despite fatigue or doubt. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Confidence reinforces itself, making the grind slightly easier and your focus sharper. Motivation, by contrast, can never provide that stability. When you depend on a surge of inspiration, you leave your results to chance. The harsh reality is that life does not wait for motivation. Deadlines, opportunities, and competition are indifferent to your mood or enthusiasm. If you rely on motivation, you will inevitably fall behind. Relentless consistency removes that risk. It makes performance predictable. It allows you to control your trajectory because you have established a habit of execution that does not waver with circumstances or feelings. Consistency also cultivates discipline. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to endure pain, embrace discomfort, and take action even when doing so is difficult or unpleasant. The more consistently you grind, the stronger your discipline becomes and the less you are influenced by fleeting emotions or excuses. Success is not a series of grand, inspired actions. It is the sum of hundreds, thousands, or even millions of small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. Motivation may create a spike, a brief burst of activity, but consistency creates momentum. And momentum, once established, is unstoppable. Every champion, every entrepreneur, every world-class performer understands this principle. They do not wait for motivation. They create a framework for consistent execution. They schedule their actions, measure their progress, and refuse to be derailed by temporary emotional states. Grinding until it hurts is not glamorous, and it is rarely celebrated, but it is effective. It is the unheralded, behind-the-scenes engine that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Consistency also builds trust. When you show up every day, deliver results, and maintain relentless focus, others take notice. Opportunities, partnerships, and influence grow naturally around those who are reliable and predictable in their effort. Motivation cannot produce that level of credibility. Only consistent action can. Every failure or setback is easier to recover from when consistency is your foundation. Motivation may wane when obstacles appear, leaving you vulnerable to quitting or retreating. Consistency, however, carries you through challenges, ensuring that progress continues even in the face of adversity. Finally, grinding until it hurts requires understanding that the results are not immediate. Motivation may make you feel good in the short term, but consistency ensures outcomes in the long term. Every repeated action, every sacrifice, every small improvement compounds until it becomes unstoppable growth. The key to success is not how inspired you feel today, but whether you can maintain relentless, disciplined, and purposeful action every day until the results you desire are undeniable. Motivation gets people started, but consistency ensures they finish, dominate, and leave a legacy. Those who understand this principle do not wait for inspiration, they create it through action, persistence, and refusal to quit. Grinding until it hurts is difficult, exhausting, and uncomfortable, but it is the only path to lasting achievement. Comfort zones are invisible prisons. They feel safe, familiar, and reassuring, but in reality they are slowly killing your potential. The moment you settle into comfort, you stop growing, stop challenging yourself, and begin a slow decline toward mediocrity. Most people are addicted to comfort. They avoid risk, shy away from difficult conversations, postpone hard work, and rationalize why staying in familiar routines is acceptable. But life does not reward safety. Life rewards boldness, risk-taking, and those willing to endure discomfort for the sake of progress. Grinding until it hurts requires you to confront this truth. Your comfort zone is a coffin, and every day you remain inside it, a piece of your potential dies. The human mind naturally gravitates toward ease. It resists change, avoids pain, and prefers predictability. That resistance is what keeps people average. Whispers, "You're fine, don't push too hard, relax, you've done enough." Those whispers are lies. They are the mental chains that prevent you from realizing what you are capable of achieving. Real growth, real wealth, and real success exist outside of that zone of comfort. They exist where effort is uncomfortable, where the work is hard, and where failure is possible. Grinding until it hurts means willingly stepping into that discomfort over and over again. It means embracing the challenge, leaning into the unknown, and refusing to be paralyzed by fear. Every significant achievement in history, every business empire, every groundbreaking innovation has been built by people who rejected comfort. They did not wait for life to make them uncomfortable. They actively sought the challenges that would expand their capacity, test their limits, and transform their character. Comfort zones are particularly dangerous because they create the illusion of safety. You might feel secure, but that security is fragile and temporary. Market conditions change, competitors rise, and time moves forward. If you are not pushing yourself, the world will pass you by while you remain stagnant. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the harder it becomes to leave it. Skills erode, courage diminishes, and habits of laziness solidify. This is why grinding until it hurts is critical. It forces you out of complacency repeatedly, conditioning your mind and body to operate at high levels. Growth is uncomfortable by nature. To expand your capabilities, you must endure stress, failure, and setbacks. These are not signs that you are doing something wrong. They are indicators that you are stretching, learning, and evolving. People avoid discomfort because they want instant gratification, recognition without effort, and results without sacrifice. Those who embrace grinding understand that true satisfaction comes not from comfort, but from accomplishment, resilience, and mastery. Comfort zones also distort perception. When you stay safe, your ambitions shrink. You start telling yourself that incremental progress is enough or that mediocrity is acceptable. Grinding until it hurts shatters that illusion. It exposes your real capacity, challenges your limits, and forces you to aim higher than you ever thought possible. Every time you confront discomfort intentionally, you build courage. Every risk taken, every difficult decision made, every challenge met strengthens your resolve and expands your boundaries. This cumulative growth compounds over time, creating a person capable of extraordinary achievements. One of the most dangerous aspects of comfort is its subtlety. It rarely arrives suddenly. It creeps in through habits, routines, and excuses, convincing you that staying where you are is safe and wise. Grinding until it hurts is about developing awareness of this creeping stagnation and actively resisting it. It is about making daily choices that stretch you, challenge you, and force growth. Comfort zones also stifle creativity. Real innovation requires risk, experimentation, and failure. If you avoid discomfort, you avoid the trial and error process that leads to breakthroughs. Grinding until it hurts ensures that you are constantly testing, learning, and adapting, which is how exceptional results are achieved. To escape the coffin of comfort, you must embrace the principle of deliberate suffering. You must seek challenges that force growth, take actions that feel risky, and make decisions that are difficult but necessary. The pain of growth is temporary. The regret of stagnation lasts a lifetime. Comfort zones are the silent killers of ambition, and the only antidote is consistent, intentional action that pushes boundaries. Grinding until it hurts trains you to see discomfort not as a warning sign, but as a signal of progress. It conditions you to thrive under pressure, to embrace challenges, and to expand your limits. Every time you resist the temptation to stay comfortable, every time you choose action over ease, you step closer to the person you are capable of becoming. Life is unforgiving to those who remain in comfort. Opportunities are seized by those willing to endure the grind, to suffer temporary pain for long-term gain, and to take risks when others retreat. The comfort zone may feel like home, but it is a coffin in which your potential decays. To achieve greatness, you must step out, embrace the struggle, and grind until it hurts. Because outside of comfort lies growth, achievement, and legacy.